Okay, so as you can see here, I finish priming all the white and pinkish parts using Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 Gray. And I like this bottle. This came out really well. It thinned pretty well when I used about maybe 35 to 40% thinner. I had to adjust it here and there, but I really like how this came out. On all these parts. It came out nice and smooth, very fine. I was deeply impressed, especially since it's covering up the pink. Didn't have to do it on the white parts, but you definitely have to do it because I'm going to be pre-shading it soon. So I said might as well cover all aspects of it. Some parts, you know, the one thing about priming is priming also shows up some of the mistakes, or maybe parts of the kit that didn't come out right. Like this one, it didn't sand down pretty well here because I put glue on it to close up the gap, but there's still a little bit of warping here, so I may have to resand it down again just a tad and then reprime it if I have to. This is the fuel tanks, of course. I'm still looking at each and every one of these parts to make sure that they're all consistent, they're all well. Unlike other priming paint, sometimes something will bleed up, bubble up, and then you need to repaint it or sand it down and respray it again. That was something that I always had trouble with spray cans, because spray cans were not consistent. Spray cans would have been great for a larger, more broader kit, but when you use something small, it's not that simple. That's why I'm going with airbrushing now, on airbrushing primer, instead of using spray cans. And I may have to get 2 more bottles of these, so if you guys at GundamCustoms are hearing me, I'll be stopping by there soon. I had to be very careful with some of the parts, especially the smaller parts. Some of them flew off my hand and went bing all over the place, so I had to find them and make sure that they were done right. So I've already covered both the white and pinks. I'll of course have to reprime the other parts as well, but I want to focus on this because this is now where the meat and potatoes of my painting will begin, and that is of course the pre-shading. Now I would like to give out another shout out, and hopefully the individual in question is listening to me. His name on Facebook, I'm sorry, not on Facebook, on YouTube is, if I'm pronouncing it properly, he goes under the name of Steez. Let me verify that one more time, because some people sent me links to his page, both on Facebook and on YouTube, and this was in reference to the pre-shading. He did a great job. Also, I have to give a shout out to Jim's work on his RX-78-2, which I was spending the past few days checking out panel lining, not panel lining, excuse me, pre-shading techniques. So let me see if I could find it. Oh, and somebody sent me an email to a site by a website called Major Williams Gundam Blog, Gundam Building 101 Pre-Shading. Now this one, I was looking at this very, very closely, and how the many layers of paints that are required. We did our first layer, of course, which was priming. Now we do the pre-shading, and then we do the other layer of coats. So I may be reading it wrong, but that's how I'm interpreting it. Kind of like what I did with my Yamato. So I have 2 colors of pre-shading that I may decide to use, and I think at first, let me see here, the one color that I thought maybe would be better, first I was thinking of this, and this was the grayish blue. For those of you who don't remember, this is the one that I used to mix with the medium blue to make that unique color for the Yamato. But I thought it came out pretty well in the last kit, I might as well decide to use this one, and that is the dark gray. Same thing that I did with the Yamato, which what I use for pre-shading. So this one is what I'm going to be using right now. Now, once I pre-shade it, following Steez's build of the GPO2 he built, which he did some crazy weathering effects and chipping and detailing. He took white and medium gray, which happens to be, or neutral gray. He mixed them together and he gave a beautifully neat off-white color, which I thought would have been great for this. But I'm not going to do that because I forgot that a while back I picked this up, and I don't know if this will be sufficient enough. It's a new bottle. I haven't used it yet, and that is off-white, number 69. I thought this would be a good idea to use this and to coincide with the pre-shading. So I will begin with dark gray for pre-shading, followed by off-white on top of it. We'll see how that works, and then I may decide if it doesn't come out right, or if it's starting to look weird and it doesn't look like the way I want it, I can layer it again with an acrylic flat white, just to give it a little bit more brightness. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm interpreting. But let me begin thinning this up, and let's pre-shade it. Okay, so let's try this out. I did a good mixture here, and I tested it on a few parts. I'm going to show you what I'm planning to do. Bear in mind, this airbrush is, even though it's very good, it's not as thin and precise, so I have to be very careful and very light on what I do. Okay, there's one. Basically, as you can see, getting off the leading edges. Pretty good. Alright. Let's try something a little smaller and a little bit more rounder. That came out pretty good. Here, it's a good example right here. Try something bigger. Whoops, hang on a second. Isn't that pretty good? Nice. Of course, the remaining part of the kit will be covered in the other color, in the other part. Let's try something a little bit more difficult before I, yeah, let's try this. Sometimes the positioning of the light, and if I don't look at this right, I could oversaturate a part, and which of course is not a good idea, but there we go. So there you go. There's what it looks like before, and here's after. So let me start working on all these parts, and then we'll continue on with the next phase of this painting build.